So we're gonna play one match before I think we'll end up playing with Strasky. I wanted to maybe talk about this list for a little bit before we start. Still calling this Monobu Wagon because it still has wagon, but it is starting to shift a little bit. Metamorph. One second. Excuse me. Morph into Winternight Stories instead of Stock Up, which is looking a little bit more like the Kavaero lists we've seen. Yeah, I'm gonna try the new version. Haven't played any games with it yet. I did take out the Analyze Pollen for another Day of Black Sun. Yeah, we'll revolt if I rename it. At this point, I can't. It's true. We're stuck. We can call it Mono Blue Elementals instead of although it's really not Mono Black anymore because this Deceit is a Demir card more than anything else. We used to have a bunch of Heist, which makes sense to call it Mono Black. Now it just has Deceit, but it's okay. We'll stick with the name. It has not lost its identity just quite yet. But yeah, I'm excited about playing some games here. Probably Strasky's probably gonna play Lessons. Maybe he'll play something else. I'm not sure, but we'll try it. So let's talk about some of the changes we made. One sec. Let me mute myself for just a moment. Does it blow my nose? Maybe just capitalize. Yeah, maybe I should. You're right. That's fair. We can change it. That's what I'm willing to do. Okay. So let's talk about the list. We've got our important early game against like mono red, the early aggro creatures. We got tactics and double hex. Actually, hold on. I need to move it like this so you guys can see everything, right? Yeah. All right, we got Intimidation Tactics and Hex, our go-to early removal and discard against Cobb decks. Mono red, these are the best cards against mono red. Reasonable against all the aggro decks. Tactics also shines against most of the decks in this format, honestly, which is why we're playing more copies. Hitting creatures, which is not just hitting small creatures, right? So you can hit elementals, you can hit Deceit, Kavaero, any type of elemental, Roboroid, Craterhoof, Cobbs, etc. So, and then also I guess you can hit Explorer, Harmonizer, bunch of stuff. So yeah, tactics super good in this metagame. Hex is just kind of just kind of have to play it. I don't love it. There are decks that it's not very good against, and there are decks that it has very few targets, but those targets do need to be killed. So it is 1 mana, so it's very efficient at what it does. Analyze the Pollen, we might go back to 2, but the idea of this card is when you are evoking these elementals, it's pretty easy to collect evidence. It's 1 more land, kind of, but you don't have to get extra flooded. Thoughts on Hex versus Snare? I think Hex is better because it kills creature lands, but at least in this deck, we did have some snares in the... I mean, it's obviously a better card against control. But people are also playing Cavern of Souls. Sometimes you need to kill a creature after it's resolved. Snare is fine. The mana base is a little bit easier to cast Hex than Snare. But yeah, I would say Hex is probably the go-to. Snare might be, depending on the meta, but I do like Hex more. It means you can play a tapped land. You don't have to leave up mana, which is a little bit nicer. Like, yeah, on turn 3 you want to play Wagon, on turn 4 you want to play Kavaero, and then you can kill with 1 mana whatever they play. Compared to Snare, you have to decide if you're leaving up mana. This is not a counter deck. This is a very tap out deck. So Snares, even though it is just 1 mana, it is harder to leave up mana in this deck than like a Demir control deck. Okay, two Bitter Triumphs. As you see, these are the only copies that can be spell snared. So we are basically spell snare proof and hex, Requiting Hex proof. I feel like my play on words there, but we don't really have any targets for Hex besides Restless Reef or like a Bossing Say target, but yeah, very, very few. So it basically doesn't count. 4 copies of Deceit. I mean, this is basically the reason to play these colors right now. If you're playing blue and black, this card is just unbelievable. And then if you're playing Deceit, you're also pairing that up with Kavaero, Superior Spider-Man. And then here we're getting to our wagon part of the deck. So we got Lumbering World. Yeah, we'll get to the Sunderflock, don't worry. We got to the Lumbering Worldwagon here, which is the card we've played a ton with before Lauren, before the previous sets. We've had it without the Evoke Elementals, with just Riddler and like Esper Origins. But since Lauren came out, there's Evoke Elementals and Kavaero. And what do you know? These elementals are absurd with Wagon. You can play Wagon on turn 3. First of all, it ramps you to be able to hardcast these elementals, which is nice. But also you can evoke on with 2 mana, whichever 2 mana you choose. While it's still on the stack, you can crew the Worldwagon before it goes to the graveyard while evoke is still on the stack. You get the Worldwagon for 2 mana, which is the same you could have done with Riddler. Now you've got 11 creatures you can do that with Worldwagon. So once you play Worldwagon, it's pretty easy to crew it for 4 in this deck. And then from there, you can kind of do your, you know, when you're only doing something with 2 mana, you can kind of do your own thing too. Like you can go Deceit, Bounce, Bitter Triumph, discard a card. I also attacked you with Wagon, got another land. Next turn I can play something for value, like Deadly Cover Up the turn after Riddler with Wagon again. Like, Wagon is just solid in this deck. We used to play Stock Up, but we're trying Winternight Stories because, well, you were playing a lot more creatures than we used to. We used to play Cruelclaw Heist, we didn't play Wistfulness, no Kavaeros, the deck had 4 Riddlers, basically no other creatures. Now you're playing a ton of creatures. Winternight Stories makes some sense. Also, it's another card that helps Deadly Cover Up, collect evidence, Analyze the Pollen, collect evidence, and Kavaero. Speaking of Kavaero, we have Sunderflock as well, which is, it's a one of that we're trying against mono green landfall, also against Cobb decks. This can come up, you know, when you already play a Wistfulness with something on turn 5 and you just analyze, find yourself a Sunderflock, play Sunderflock, or on turn 3, I mean, it's just a one of. But if you do have it in hand, you can Winternight Stories. You've got 6 ways of discarding it, and then you can Kavaero it back. Actually more than 6 ways. You got 8 ways of discarding it if you count Bitter Triumph. So if you do draw your Sunderflock, pretty reasonable with Kavaero. We might want to just play more copies of this card. I could see that, but we're trying it out and seeing if it works. I mean, this card is quite clunky. If it is stuck in your hand, you do need to play an actual Wistfulness or Deceit to have it castable, and even then the Wistfulness needs to survive, and even then it costs 5 mana, or sorry, 3 mana, or 4 mana. It is a lot of evidence, that's true. Mostly you want to Kavaero it into play, but yep, same theory with Harvester. It is a tutorable target. It does answer the Iron Shield Elf, which is our, I guess we have Dale Black Sun as well, but that is an answer. And having Kavaero within this with Harvester is just another way of playing sweepers in our deck that's not just overloading on sweepers, because it doesn't make too much sense to just play like 4 Deadly Cover Up, 4 Dale Black Sun, and then also all these creatures, because you also want, you know, you don't really want to kill all your creatures all the time when you're playing. It's not the most, it's a little bit of an on-bow. So yeah, we're doing some there. Thoughts on Glarb versus Wagon? Well, Glarb is probably solid. It's okay. So my thoughts on Glarb is this: the stonks on Glarb went up a lot. It's pretty sick with all these elementals, Kavaero, Day of Black Sun, Harvester. I mean, it's pretty sick, but you are still playing Deadly Cover Up in your deck, and I much rather go Wagon on turn 3, Deadly Cover Up on turn 4, then play my elementals, instead of like Glarb, get a land, play an evoke, then deadly cover up. I would say Wagon is a lot better against control as well, but Wagon just kind of gets you what you need. Glarb is not bad. You can play it in the sideboard. We don't currently have a copy. We could add one. The issue I have with Glarb is that all the decks in standard right now kill you very quickly when they do their thing, and they don't care about Glarb. They can just ignore Glarb. Unless you're playing against control, but even then I prefer Wagon. Basically, if you look at the deck, okay, let's say we've got Glarb. My opponent is killing me with Monument and Lessons, right? They can just ignore the fact that I'm drawing a few cards. The caveat is finding Wistfulness to kill the Monument, but regardless, Glarb is a little on the slow side. Also, is just a remove, can just be killed by technique. What else do we have? Reanimator. Reanimator doesn't care about Glarb either. You just draw an extra land here or there, get an elemental or something. It just doesn't really care. I guess it does help you find deadly cover up, kind of, but yeah, it's just, you know, it could just kind of do its own thing. It can ignore the most of the card advantage because they just have one turn OTK, one turn kill. What else? Blue black control. I mean, they just kind of deadly cover up. Wagon is way better against that deck. What else? Mono green landfall again. You can Glarb a few times, but then they just play Nursery and kill you very quickly, or Harmonize, kill you very quickly. Same thing goes with the Cub decks. You can play Glarb, but then they can just, like, if the game is going super long and you're just kind of sitting there, they have Riddlers, they have Crater Hoof Behemoth, Ouroboros. I just feel like when the game goes long, you have to sweep the board, otherwise you end up losing. And Glarb kind of just gets in the middle of that and just dies alongside to your deadly cover up. So it's just another card that does that. Is there another deck I'm missing? Elementals can ignore Glarb too, for the most part. Bounce it with Deceit. I mean, it just doesn't really have enough impact. It is a really cool card that very, very grindy. I just feel like you don't need it. You have plenty of those cards with all your elementals and Riddlers and Winternight Stories. And yeah, Wagon just helps you sweep faster, which is kind of the saving grace for Wagon, because it's not the best card against aggro, but if you are able to play like a removal spell or a discard on 2/3 Wagon, and then 4 is just easier to hit Day of Black Sun or Deadly Cover Up. Yeah, also, yeah, Glarb is really cool though. I mean, it really is a good card. I just don't really feel like it has a home quite yet in the meta. Probably because it doesn't. Can you crew with the Evoke? Yes, you can. That's why we're playing these. You can Deceit or Wistfulness, Evoke, and then while the trigger's on the stack, you can even take a look at your opponent's hand first or draw the cards before you even decide to crew. Which means that you can take away the removal spell with, like, let's say they're holding up a Get Lost or a Bitter Triumph. You can Deceit, make them discard a card, then they can't, if they play Bitter Triumph in response, they just have to kill Deceit, and which is just gonna die anyways. So yeah, you can take the Evoke. You can discard their card first, and then while the Evoke is still on the stack, you can crew Wagon once the removal spell is gone out of their hand. Same thing can technically go for Wistfulness. Like when we used to play Spell Snare, this came up. We evoked Wistfulness. We knew our opponent had a discard spell like a Bitter Triumph or a Get Lost, and if we drew cards and we found a Spell Snare, then we can attack with Wagon. If not, then we probably just don't and leave it back for another time until we find our Deceit or something. But yeah, you get to choose, which is really sick. And yeah, the Wagon makes a lot of sense in this deck. One of the issues is that Wagon is a card that leaves you a little bit vulnerable the turn you are playing it. It is 3 mana, do nothing to the board. So no blockers, no gain life, no removal. But it does help you ramp back into a Deadly Cover-Up, which can set you back up from the tempo loss. Not really tempo because you got a land, but you know, the one turn you gave them. Okay, let's see. Did Shresky message me? No. Alright, so let's play some games. That was a long conversation about the deck. This is not Just Guys Scam. We are playing the Wagon deck, Manabu Wagon, and trying it out. New Manabu Wagon with Winternight Stories. Am I leaning towards this deck? No, I'm not saying I'm leaning towards it. If it goes well, maybe we will be. What are the thoughts? Oh, you want me to talk about the sideboard? I just talked about the deck for 20 minutes. You want me to talk about the sideboard or get playing? Sideboard is pretty... I'll be quick on the sideboard, alright? We got 2 copies of Duress against Control. We're trying Ghost Vacuum right now instead of Lantern to see if this card makes more sense against mono green landfall. It stops their fetch, earthbending, like Fable Passage or Tunnel. Negate against Control, Heist against Control, Strategic Betrayal against Lessons, against Sultai Reanimator, Fine Card against Doomsday, Qarsi against Aggro, The End against Dimir, some green decks. Honestly, kind of bringing The End against Elemental, Deceit decks, Kavaero, etc. Just solid all around. Wrench against Doomsday, against Control. I mean, you get to Kavaero. Ygra is a card we're trying out against Lessons, and I'll probably bring this card against Control too because it forces my opponent to sweep the board with just 1 creature in play, unless they have a creature, and then that works too, but that's still a 2-for-1, especially if it's uncounterable with our 2 Cavern of Souls. It is an elemental, which is the card we want to name with Cavern anyways. And then Wistfulness, Lesson, green decks, anybody who has artifacts, I mean, we'll bring this card in. Outrageous Robbery, we could take this card out for another copy of The End. I wouldn't be too opposed to doing that. I actually might just do that right now. Yeah, I don't think we need a Robbery. 2 Caverns. You can't really get away with too much more. Yeah, let's not talk about the robberies because it's gone. So yeah, 2 copies of The End against Dimir. It answers Kaido, it answers Curiosity. Okay, let's add some music, and let's start the testing. It seems a bit loud or weird. If the music is too loud, let me know. I haven't even turned it on yet for you, but we'll start it from the beginning. Thanks, Typus. Okay, so here's our wagon. We got Riddler. Don't think we need to analyze. Let's hold on to it. This deck has very strong late game, and I have a feeling that Winternight Stories will help us out even more with that. One thing I would be concerned about is maybe the early game. Alright, let's riddle. Take a hit. Okay. Interesting. I think our play is still to just go wagon. Especially when we drew a second one. Otherwise it's Bitter Triumph. Yeah, I think we have to. We could also draw a Deadly Cover-Up here. Blue, right? Yep. I do like discarding stock-ups. You mean switching them for Winternight Stories? Well, if we drew a Cavern, this would have been amazing. Now, well, there's no point to... Actually, no, there is a point to Wistfulness here. And only pay to exile Innocence. Because we could bitter... No, we can't Bitter Triumph because of voice. But we can play around No More Lies. and then attack with Wagon. That might be worth it. That was an interesting choice. I think that is going to be the play. Heinun kind of messes things up. Yeah, picking one spell, but still gonna play around No More Lies by just exiling, I think. Otherwise, if we had a Cavern, it would have been amazing to just go slam Wistfulness, exile Enduring Innocence. We don't have that option. Actually, there's a chance it would have been better to hit the High Noon. But this is our only way of exiling it, so I think it might be worth it. We'll see. May have just kind of punted there, since we don't have access to playing any cards, but we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, maybe I should have just killed the High Noon and then played a second spell there. I don't know. Because now with High Noon and Avoids of Victory in play, like, how do we get back from here? I don't think we can. I don't think we can. I think that was a punt. Yeah, that was a pretty big punt. Because we're just stuck playing one spell. Yeah, I didn't give enough respect to High Noon there. Should have killed a High Noon and Bitter Triumph the Voice. I got a little bit too greedy on trying to exile the Innocence, but Deceit handles it well, a little bit, but if they have an Aang or an Aven Interrupter, we lose. Pollen for... Yeah, but if I Pollen for Cavern, I can't cast another spell. So that doesn't work either. I think we got to just... We gotta just bounce. But an Aang is game over. Yeah, that's luck. Guess I can make a Earthbend here, no other play. Man, big mistake this game. Okay. I think two changes I would make in the sideboard is 2 Hex over 1 of the N and 1 Negate. Control matchup will be... Yeah, I think that's true, Richter. We should probably find space for 4 Hexes. 4th Overnight over Wistfulness or Wrench. That one I'm not so sure about. Or Winternight, I mean. Not sold on the Wrench at the moment. Alright, let's see if this happens again. If they have another removal, we are dead though. Yeah. What an epic punt by me. Yeah, good game. High Noon. I need to give High Noon more respect. Like, the card is, it doesn't seem to have that much impact the first turn, but when there's an Aang and an Aven Interrupter, they just become so good. It's very, very good against us. We should give it more respect there. Like the Enduring Innocence was just giving them card advantage, but we had plenty of our own card advantage, so I think we probably could keep up with it if we just are able to cast more than one spell a turn, especially with Voice in play. All right. Anyways, learned. Not a fan of Day of Black Sun versus Aang and Aven Interrupters. The end is very good though. Qarsi's solid. Wistfulness, Orange, Betrayal. Oh, none of these cards really do too much. Harvester doesn't have that much impact. Might be a little on the slow side. Hex, Tactics, Analyze. I guess Wistfulness does exile High Noon. Maybe it's better than Harvester here. And I should probably just trim a Winternight Stories and like another card that's bad. Maybe Sunderflock isn't the best anymore in this matchup. They just have one creature, yeah. No, actually no. Sunderflock seems insane. It costs 0 mana if they ang it. Let's just trim another Winternight Stories. I think our card advantage is just by slamming creatures, and it's pretty bad to. I just like I can't really spend time to just develop cards instead of doing something on the board. This matchup I would probably want a third hex. This is not the best hand, but alright. Yeah, hex. Yeah, it's probably not hex. You're right. Maybe we need another removal, like shoot the sheriff, and like one hex, one shoot the sheriff, in our deck, instead of just 4 hexes against control, or not against control, against aggro. Jeez. Okay. Alright, probably just Kavaero here. Like, what card do I want to cost 2 more than anything else? And I think the answer is Kavaero. Like, if they play, Aang. Okay. This is fine with me. Bouncing Voice is pretty good. Gives us a nice little tempo swing. Nice. Huge. This is pretty nasty. Exiling Innocence there, drawing 2 cards. Pretty good here. Don't really need all these deadly cover-ups at this point. Can maybe just get rid of 1. Lands might matter more. I'll keep 1 in case they go like Avatar's Wrath, then we can lead up with deadly cover-up, but... yeah, okay. I mean, I probably should not deadly cover up still, and just play go to 9 Deceit, hard cast. Seems fine. Sure. High Noon, Seamrip, Drowner Voice. Well, not High Noons. Guess we take Drowner. Get a High Noon? We've got Wistfulness. You just exile it for 2 mana. Yeah, while making a 6/5, also true. Say that they don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Oh my god. That's sick. That's pretty good. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Okay. Yeah, so let's say against aggro, probably I agree, we probably don't need the Winternight Stories. Maybe the Heist, but we'll try it like this for now. Hey Krixusu, sorry, my reading comprehension is questionable. I think my writing skills is questionable more than that. Does that mean you're testing his version of the deck, or you will play him to test the deck? I will play him to test the deck. How would I write that? Testing with Stratsky. Here, testing with Stratsky. How about that? Manabu Wagon. Gaming. Something like that. Better? I don't know. He's not even here yet, so he's streaming, playing someone else right now. Testing with Stratsky, but he's not here yet. That makes sense. That's good. Very, very clean explanation. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Think we tactics here. Try to get an Aven. Or sorry, an Aven or an Ing. Ooh. Okay, well now we have to make a decision whether we exile this or this. Well, now we drew a Wistfulness, so I guess we probably just get rid of Innocence first. Not that we have to another play anyways, so. All I want to say is that they don't really care. I think we can get rid of the Wistfulness here. We'll be alright, we've got Riddler. Let's just try to take away the High Noon. Brutal. Brutal. Okay. Keep trying, I guess. Hey, let me finish this match real quick, Stratsky, and then we can play. But yeah. Thoughtseize bug? Nobody even Thoughtseize does. Ow. Message you on Messenger. Can I message you on Discord instead? Is that okay? It's already open. Alright, I'll just open it. I'll just open it. Messenger, it's fine. Guess you are waiting on us, so it's only fair. Sing hallelujah. How do we? I think we probably just deadly cover up here. I don't really care too much about Riddler dying, honestly. We have 2 more Riddlers. Let's just get rid of Innocence. Riddler, no! Yes. Yes, we're still gonna develop our board pretty nicely here. Elspeth avatars are Johnny Avon, Ings, Get Lost, High Noon's Voice, 2 Dissample Strokes, No More Lies, Light Stalls. Alright, 1 Anchorage, sure. I got the one in the graveyard, and this hand is useless. Okay. I think I still just do elementals here, and yeah, we'll medium cast it first, then hard cast it, the other one. Alright, they got a removal. Found Get Lost. Either target draft on Anchorage. Sure. Nice, I can't play Riddler for a turn. Sick. Get rid of your map? Get out of here. Get that wrap out of there. You got the map out of there. Alright. This song is so good. You don't like this song? Why not? The song's great. I'm just jamming my cards here so we can start riddling for value. Also, they're dead, so. This is very good testing for me. Hopefully it's good testing for Andre, for Strasky too, I don't know. He is playing against Wistfulness and Deceit. Those cards do matter. The rest, maybe not. He probably not as much, but... The Winternight Stories has not been that good. I feel like Stock Up might be better. I have not been that impressed. Because I don't want to discard a creature. I want to keep these creatures. And like having to discard 2 spells kind of turns off Winternight Stories value a lot. Right? Like if let's say I draw 3 cards and it's just like land, Deadly Cover-Up, Bitter Triumph, I have to discard Wistfulness. I want to keep it. It's really important. Like the elementals are so important. Also harmonize conflicts with... Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. That's also true. We can maybe play like 2 stock up 1 Winternight Stories. That I could see. It's not that much better here. It's a little bit better. All right, we'll grab a little weight here. Oh. Oh. Okay. Gotta wait. We gotta play Winternight Stories, I think. Maybe these two. Maybe these two. Yeah, I'll probably just do like 1 Winternight, 2 stock ups. Okay. Wait, I think he may have punted. Did he not want to play Firebending Lesson to draw a card? Response? And discard Technique? Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like you do. Definitely did, right? Alright, I think we do play around the second quench here. Deadly cover up and see what we can, if we can lose to talent, because there's a monument in the graveyard, so if this resolves. Was there 3 steps? Dream of California. Dream of California. Alright, he had 3 steps, so, and then no technique. Agnikella. Guess we go again? I think we have to. I mean, it's not really a thing we should wait for. I could, yeah, we just get rid of both. Okay, that's fine. Wisdoms, Quench, Talent, Grands, and 2 Storm Chasers. One 3 steps, yep. Yeah, I mean, Storm Chasers is the problem. But if we can kill with Bossing Say quickly, might be good enough. I think I want to cycle here for a turn, and then Bossing Say if we miss on whatever. Alright, okay. Yeah, he can grab 3 steps from the yard. That is true. He can. Need to find a Deceit here or something. Or a Wistfulness. Okay, that's not nothing. We can play Day of Black Sun. Get rid of these. Then Deceit or Wistfulness the Storm Chasers. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. That tutors after we play Day of Black Sun, yeah. Okay. Doing it. Kinda. Wistfulness. Wonder if it's even better to find Riddler, but nah, it's gotta be Wistfulness here. Where's our reefs? Reef! Restless Reef! We need you! We need you! Cards. Firebending. Yeah, when the world needed him most, he vanished. How many techniques we got? Tech. Stop it. Stop it. I think we should just Bossing Say. Play a land. Sweet home Alabama. Yeah, just for literally just for blockers, I agree. Better than tacticsing just to cycle for 3 mana, I think, right? Alright, 7 cards in deck. It's gonna be hard for him because he doesn't even have a talent. He needs to go Boomerang plus get something plus... There's a talent. But he needs to actually cast spells to trigger talent anyways. Boomerang does draw you a card, so... Can level it up. You can level it up and grab removal. Yeah. 1 time. Or Boomerang. You have 5 cards in deck. Three steps. Okay. Okay. Now it's a little too late on that front. Should still play Riddler. No, I don't think we respond to... Oh, that's not what we wanted to do. Oh, I thought I wanted to tick tactics there. Oops. I definitely wanted a tactics there. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Why not Hex first? I wanted to... You thought he was going to counter Hex? Guess that's interesting. What I wanted to do there is maybe play tactics on the stack. Maybe that's not even better, so it's fine. No Cavern. What if we just make a token and pass? Or maybe on this one, but yeah, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, we just say go. I don't think he has that many more removal spells at this point. Or spells, period, that he can cast that are not just gonna kill him. Right, because he's played enough lessons and techniques already. I think there's 4 of each. 1 technique, 1 lesson, 2 techniques, 2 lesson, 3 lesson, 3, 4 techniques down. That's 4 lessons, 4 techniques. 1 abandoned attachments. 2 abandoned attachments. He does have more of those. 3 abandoned attachments. So he's got 1 abandoned attachments he can play that doesn't draw him a card. That he could just say no, may. Is that both 3 steps as well? Or is there another one in hand? He does have another copy of 3 steps, looks like. That could kill us if he's got it. He's got 3 cards, so I'm assuming he's got it. But going Deceit into Day might be the winner here. One card in deck. So the Day of Black Sun is going to get it. Can cycle first? Yeah, yeah. If you lose this, I can't. How many quenches has he played? Cavern. Okay, he's got 2 quenches in the graveyard, right? 1 quench in graveyard. 2 quenches. Could be a snare, which means we should do this for 1. That's one way we could lose. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's just do this on elemental. Make sure to have enough mana. Okay. Let's hit pay for day. Cavern's great here, yeah. I mean, I think it was over regardless, even without it. Like, we could just play Deceit and then do this for 1, right? So didn't need the Cavern there, just Deceit for 2 mana if it would have resolved. I think there was a spell snare in the graveyard anyways, by the way. Probably, yeah, there was. It's gone. Anyways. Damn. Alright, taking out Tactics. Winternight. Deadly Sunderflock. Vacuum, Duress. Betrayal. Ygra, and Wistfulness. Is this enough? Like, do we maybe want Shoot the Sheriff over a Hex because of Riddler? Probably. We did lose to Riddler game 3. I think maybe 1 Hex is fine. Why is Ygra good here? It's very difficult for him to kill it. Just a hard card for him to kill. If he doesn't have a creature, he can't kill it. It's got 6 toughness, and then also if he sacrifices a token, it does go up to 8. So he needs to have 8 cards to kill it with technique. It's not like straight up hexproof, but it's good. It's also an elemental, so it can be uncounterable with Cavern. So, and it can gain you some life. It's a upkeep play that you can gain some life if you have it when in play, which is nice. All right, we're gonna riddle here. So I took Watery Grave damage there because we were gonna take 1, but it gets us an untapped land into play. Take 2 instead, but don't use the blue for the starting town at least. Like if I played Swamp, I would go to 19 and then play a Watery Grave on turn 3 and then go to 17. So this actually prevents us. Well, I guess it's the same because of Wagon, but you know. Also makes Wistfulness Doomblade. That's true too. Blue, green, black. Yeah, green. I love that a bit. That is cool. That is a nice little bit. Okay. My god. Maybe we want to play more Caverns. Maybe that's the play. Just jam Caverns. 3 or 4. I don't think we can. I don't think it's possible. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, kind of agree with you, Richter. Just more Caverns. Such an important card. It's just massive. I'm gonna exile in response. I think we made a mistake with the Ghost Vacuum by not just immediately exiling all the time. Like if they have it, they have it, but I can't really, like, Ghost Vacuum can only do so much. Can get 1. They got it. It's not a Soul Guide Lantern. Or name Sphinx less often. I'm trying. It's not easy to do. Alright, this could still get countered, but we do get to attack, and we have Kavaero too. So, full control. Wisdom and response. Okay. We do get to attack with Wagon, so this is pretty good still, somehow. This is a situation where Ghost Vacuum is definitely worse. Definitely worse than Soul Guide. You don't need a full control to Wagon here? I don't trust it. I just don't trust. You're probably right, but also I don't trust it. It's already at 4. Yeah, Ghost Vacuum has not been great in this matchup. I'm just gonna get rid of some cards here, but at this point we're tapped out, so there was a Soul Guide. There's only 2, but not that difficult to do it. We do have Kavaero for Wistfulness or Riddler.
Doesn't take a genius to see something weird is going on.
Okay, but I was brave once, and it turned out it just waits for you nicely.
I'll just invent
even if you had nothing else. If you have actual nothing else and you're tapped out, even Vacuum is tapped out. Just Wagon. Yeah, maybe it waits. I'll try to figure that out to see if maybe at a moment that we don't need it. Made it smart. I mean, that would be cool. I don't know if I should trust that though fully. Will make me happy, but yeah, I don't know if we can trust it. Don't think we can. Alright, he drew cards. Not a Deceit situation. I mean, is the play to Strategic Betrayal exile his graveyard? Is that actually good to do? Might be. Flashing back seems kind of loose. Then again, we could Kavaero a Riddler. That's not the worst. I think it's better to hold on to this. How much time do we have? Infinite? Okay. Yeah, I guess I do Winternight Stories. Player on Quench. I don't know about that one. Decline. This is a situation I just don't even want these.
Another genius idea by Raul. I've calculated exactly what I need.
Discarding Day. Maybe not the best either. I feel silly instead of the Betrayal. I was doing this to play around Riddler, but in hindsight, it does seem a lot better to have targeted something else.
Analyze, iterate.
Yep. Treasure draw. Just behind so many cards here. It's gonna be rough. He does play Riddler, yeah. He sure does. Alright, I think we lead with this. Okay. Now that makes it a little bit easier to resolve things. Like a 3 steps. Can play Kavaero here. I think we just go Wistfulness. For 2. Just exiling the monument. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go land Kavaero on the Riddler. But we'll see how this plays out first. Because if this is a counter, then we probably do play Kavaero on Wistfulness. Exile the Endurance. Okay. See if it let me. Not just hold pause anyways. Couldn't risk it. I just couldn't risk it. It's the game just ends if it like if I don't hit there, right? One day. This is not the day. This is not the turn. Quenched. Okay.
I've calculated exactly what I need.
Okay.
I can invent my way to victory.
Yeah.
Well, gotta work with what's available.
Ral's so good. Ral's drawn him 9 cards this game. Makes me sad.
It's time to embrace the local culture.
Or is about to draw him 9 cards.
I can invent my way to victory.
There's 1 card in the graveyard, 2 right now. Might want to.
You get to be my protege today.
I think at this point, here's another counter. Wow. Yeah.
I've calculated exactly what I need.
Brutal. Brutal. Guess we're going to game 3.
Oh yeah, plans coming together.
Yeah, Caverns just matters so much. It's crazy. The games I play, I have Cavern on Elemental, draw Elementals.
Well, gotta work with what's available. Another genius idea.
Alright, we can concede. He said good game. He's got a spell. Pitch Riddler, he just has lethal. If he gives me a GG, I mean we're just gonna concede in testing. Okay, I didn't bring in the spell snare. That's a mistake on us. Why did we not do that? What did we take? I think we took out one Winternight Stories. Left one Winternight Stories. I could do the end, but also 2 Bitter Triumphs and 4 Deceits is probably enough as an answer. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, time to draw a Cavern. No, Vacuum kind of sucked. I hated it. It was so bad. Just didn't do that much. It really didn't have that much of an impact. There's a chance I end up discarding the island, so. Does more than no Vacuum? I mean, that's true. Analyze for Cavern, resolve Ygra. Or, I mean, discarding Wistfulness seems so bad here. It's the best card, especially if they gab. I should probably just get rid of Ygra. It was quite comfy. I'll let him quench. That was a good draw. I do like seeing that one. Might be forced to Winternight. Wanshi, Boomerang, Technique, Talent. Probably. Wow, Analyze. Oh my god. Brutal. Probably Boomerang Basics. We have Snare for talent. If I play Analyze here, they just Wanshi response 4/4. It's not even good. Maybe I wait a little bit. Wow, I really regret on not discarding the Ygra instead of Wistfulness at this point. Okay. Yeah, I give him a 5/5. I feel like I should wait, try to find a removal. Just pass the turn. Maybe Winternight Stories next turn. 2 spells. Classic mathematician can't do math. Look, Wanshi math is hard. I feel your pain. Yeah. Alright, we found removal. One, two. Okay. We're gonna resolve a talent. Might as well. That's actually pretty good. We can resolve Deceit now with Snare. Right? We have enough blue? Blue, blue, black. Yeah, we can. Okay. Let's bounce the talent. Probably getting the Wanshi, but Monument, Talent, Wanshi. We're at 11. Yeah, we're gonna grab the Wanshi still. Yeah. Just save time. Alright, at this point, Analyze can just be another Wistfulness or Kavaero. It doesn't need to be a Cavern when we have information. Yep. Yeah, treasure means it's disdainful stroke or counter. I think we go. Let's analyze. I'm pretty sure I'll grab Cavern. Yeah, it might be the blue counter. I mean, Deceit to just discard it is somewhat the same, but no, it's not the same because of Wistfulness, because of Monument. I think we just go Cavern here. Could be a bluff. Probably not, but could be. They already have an Agnicella. It's best to just get it out. Get it out the way. And we can attack here. Plus we have Reef. They're at 13, so. It could have been more, yeah, Disdainful Stroke. Okay, not a bluff. It would be an insane bluff. Oh my god. Okay, this is again our game to lose. So let's figure out how not to lose. End a turn. Let's get rid of Ygra. It's not a blocker, so this is 11 damage. Isn't he just dead if we just attack because we have the double vacuum? I think so. Mill him though is better. Better to mill me probably, but definitely better than mill me. I got antsy. A little antsy there, but yeah, we should mill myself because if technically it could have combustion technique and we mill 4 spells and then if it goes vacuum, definitely wrong. It's definitely wrong.